So as we commit podcast suicide, are you Kevorkian in this situation?
I'll do it.
I don't know how to start it. Maybe if I don't start it, we don't have to end it. Yeah, that's it. I just won't start it. Don't worry, this is just the end.
All right, here we go. Episode 120, whatever the fuck. Remind me, by the way, to run the dryer when we're done because you interrupted my laundry.
Absolutely.
You also just showed up to the podcast and did business for 45 minutes, so you've ruffled my feathers.
Hustler gotta hustle.
But I'm very happy for you to hustle, and you deserve it all. So Juju's here. He looks like he's trying to figure out what he's trying to do. Trying to get pet. Trying to find a patch of sunshine to lay in. Good boy, Juji. Welcome. We got Brad Doan himself in the studio, the man behind the scenes often, the drummer who doesn't get drum shine.
Right?
You're here, man.
I'm here.
What's up, baby? I love you, man.
It's been a long ride, and been a beautiful ride, and I'm happy to be here and actually to be on mic this time. So it's
the final lap.
The final lap.
As in Santa's lap, etc.
Christmas is my favorite.
Pinkhurst has been anyway, we'll talk about what it was, why it was, and as we close it, put it on ice for a bit, cryogenically freeze it. You know, couldn't think of a more fitting way to circle the block one last time and then drive off a cliff like Thelma and Louise.
Right?
Who are you?
I want to be the fleas in the back seat.
Oh, nice. I want to be Thelma because who the hell is named Thelma?
Thelma. Louise is pretty old school. Both are pretty old school. Nice.
All right. Well, let's try to stick to Pinkhurst format. I'm going to read a little poem called Kindergarten. Just one more time. Again and again. I hate the word addict. Maybe because I am one. On the other hand, perhaps the urge is God-given, and to deny the call, blasphemy. Always begging forgiveness, a thought arrives, unbidden. I do not require your apology. All I ask is that you live with me, all of you. Hiding parts, suppressing desires, malarkey, child. Make your own rules, break them. Learn the pleasure of pain and the profundity of simplicity. Do it all, be everything, and then come home and tell me about your day at school.
Nice.
Or even better, I could have just read this one-line poem called Oblivion's in the Glove Box. A man finds himself lost. Pause for laughter.
Sounds like our lives.
Shout out to Kevin. This episode is sponsored by No More Podcasts. Tired of blah, 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 who gives a fuck jabber filling the rich void with what could have been deep talks between you and your imaginary friends? Me too. Turn this fucking thing off and go doodle or play basketball or dream, make art, fuck, read, anything but podcasts. For God's sake, give me the damn number. As Tom Robbins said, the more advertising I see, the less I want to buy. And he also said growing up, he was the imaginary playmate. So more Tom Robbins, less phone people, please. All right. As we begin, Brad, I need to know, are you wearing a wire?
No, not externally.
Well, at least you got one inside, I guess, because we do need the audio because I'm not recording this.
You're not recording?
No, I need the wire. No, I mean, are you wearing a wire?
No.
He doesn't get the joke.
I don't get the joke.
Of course I'm recording this. But Kevin, cut out the me recording this and just capture the audio of Brad's face worried that we're not recording this. So as we commit podcast suicide, are you Kevorkian in this situation?
I'll do it. I'll do it. That's the way Edward Abbey said, you know, once I'm done and ready to go, just go out to the woods. You find me, just spread my bones out and let me go back to the coyotes and the wolves. And so If you got the Kevorkian, I got the woods.
Okay, good. When I wrote down Kevorkian, I thought of put a fork in him, you're done. You know that expression?
Put a fork in him, sure.
Yeah, I mean, put a fork in him.
That's very Kevorkian.
Yeah, exactly. Speak into your mic directly. You're good. You're good. Just for Kevin. We got to teach Brad how to podcast here.
Okay, the drummers never get a mic, so I'm just not used to this thing.
Exactly. So I quit cigarettes. I quit talking. Podcast,
Quitter.
Thinking, I know exactly. You go to AA and you say, "You fucking quitters." Someone's obviously done that joke. Yesterday I picked up Rock. I'm just getting the ball rolling here.
All
Right. Yesterday I picked up Rock and he said, "I have two good newses. One, the good thing about death is you get to watch a show, which is life, and we're characters in it."
Fair.
And then two, he said, "Remember the cilantro I planted? It's taller than Arrow," which is one of his homies. Anyway,
Nice.
I love that. So rolling the dice, right? Let's roll the dice.
Okay.
God help me, I'm awake. See who wants to join us. Purple, pink, black. For
Purple,
God's sake, remember. Purple,
black.
pink, black. 264.
Hope they're not weighted dice.
They are. Ooh, I've never gotten this one. Albert Kreinheder. Will you listen to yourself, or will you surrender your soul forever to conformity?
Fair enough.
It's really perfect for, for me cutting off something like the podcast in this form, feeling exhausted by just talking these days. And this show started when Taylor passed away and we were in Venice talking about wanting to make kind of like an Anthony Bourdain of creativity. You and I and different members of the crew traveling, making art with people around a theme, connecting and communicating not just in talking, but through sculpture, painting, photography. And that's when we shot the Mothership pilot. And then we were shooting with AJ and making a song for each episode, which we still kind of do. But over time, it did become more of like a Zoom call, which was great. And I look at it like an installation. But that quote, like, will you listen to yourself? I feel like there's so many things that I do and have done partially because it's what I've been doing. And I feel like I'm supposed to continue doing it to conform to whatever identity that's happened. So
Well, I think it's wonderful, the growth of the podcast. I mean, the people, the guests we've had on have been absolutely amazing. I mean, you could find gems in there for years just with what we've done. And as an artist, I think, you create something, you put it out and do it. And then, man, you want a new canvas, you want a new scene. And I think when you brought it up, I thought, what, why? And then it absolutely made sense. Of course, we've done this. We've done it. Here we have this picture now. And I talked to a couple of friends and they're like, why would you stop it? Why, it's so cool. It's so good. But no, that's art, man. We came, we did it. And then it's time to boogie on. We'll do something else.
And to never say never, I think of the Walt Disney, cryogenic freezing. Of course. So it's always here. And yeah, we can pick it up in a different form, perhaps if we feel like it. But for now,
no rules, no boundaries.
Exactly.
No nothing. It's just pure art.
Exactly. So let's see. I mean, I've wanted to have you on forever, so it's perfect, again, to finish with you here. I've told you I want to do the Book of Brad. Your life has been so enormous and full and wild, and your heart just has so many beautiful scars on it of love and journey and huckleberries and grizzly bears and basketball and fatherhood and drumming and Venice in the 80s. And yeah, I mean, I wrote down some notes, but it's not even questions per se. It's more like, dad life wisdom, coach wisdom, what you've learned, whatever you want to talk about, man. I know that's vague, but
yeah, it is. But I guess I just would say I've been really blessed to still be here with everything I've been through. I never never expected to be here at this point in time. I kind of wake up in the morning, looking around, saying, "Wow, what now?" Growing up out, I mean, truly a country boy, out in the woods, chickens, pigs, cows, horses, everything we consumed, we raised or grew, and then from there, hearing, I think it was Stevie Wonder, "I Wish," or Elton John on AM radio, and starting to tap and starting to make noise, from piano to oboe to trombone to drums to which really led me down to a percussion state of mind, and hearing hip hop and programming and sampling, and I can go on, which it's still up on the mountain. It's pretty intense to start thinking like that when you got to herd cattle. Then playing college basketball, I come from a big family of sports people, of coaches and athletes, and I thought that was going to be my path. When I went off to college at Western Oregon and played ball there, and a lot of my musical friends moved down to LA, and then I figured out it's probably a little short and a little slow, a little unathletic, but I did what I did, and I could sure shoot the ball, and I got a mouth, man.
Yeah,
got a mouth,
sure.
And then
I like how the trash is being taken out behind you, the garbage truck.
Yeah,
fitting. That's kind of what we're doing today,
right? Growing up with Gary Payton and Tupac. Yeah, I can talk trash.
The glove.
Yep. Yeah. Had a
His
class
son
of
just
him.
said, "Is it true the Sonics might come back?"
They're talking about moving a team there, and they're everyone wants a new
To name them
Supersonics
that.
team. Yeah,
he
that'd
said
be
he would
great.
play there. He'd
That'd
want
be
to play
super.
there. Yeah, but continue growing up with that.
And then moving down to LA, going to music school down there. I just visited this school actually last week, and man, they've had monsters in there, man. Playing with guys from Prince's band to Earth, Wind and Fire to monsters. And then, moving out to Venice, playing basketball out there. I mean, it's been a path, man. And I think a lot of the struggles and poor decisions and bad situations I put myself in, always just being pretty wild, I guess, and more reactive and not mature. Just leave it at that. I've been able to dig through the mounds of, whether it be addiction or emotional insecurities or whatever it is, which is what always brought me back to art, because you can always paint pictures in whatever you're doing with what you're going through. And I always loved being able to do that, which brought me into fatherhood. I got 5 kids. That's the greatest joy of my life. And I think the first time I ever really wanted to stay alive and be present is raising them. When you have little kids running around your feet, man, it's really not about you anymore. It's just special being able to kind of forego yourself, forego your greediness and selfishness and, whatever you think about your life. And it's just providing for them and trying to point them down a good path and trying to put them in a better spot than you were. And it's been life changing. It still is, it's wonderful. I got my daughter living with me and my son, and I'm close with all my kids. They're close by, and it's amazing. It's been a great path. And now you work with kids. I work with a club that I helped start with 500-600 kids in it. And I coach at a high school I absolutely love. It's a phenomenal high school. We have diverse programs where, Da Vinci Rise is a second chance program for kids that have been arrested or homeless. And every once in a while we can get someone on the team. And it's just amazing to work with these kids throughout Los Angeles that, I love what I do. I love the coaching. I love basketball. It's, now I'm really starting to, I think for the first time in my life, I've slowed down and been able to just really love life. And, I started my own company. I left the working world. So now it's all about music, art, basketball, coaching, and being my own boss. So it's been really special, even if I'm probably not buying a Porsche anytime soon, but it's been really special. So
we'll get you one of those CVS small Porsches,
yeah, right?
The $10
exactly.
Joints.
That works.
School for ants. Thank you, man. No, you summed it up in a kind of simple way, bullet point way of just how you, since I met you, defy. Like, you shouldn't exist technically on paper. I don't know how your heart loves so much, and it's you're my brother, man, forever. I call you every day. I think I call you the most, probably, you and Kev.
Change my number.
Yeah, you should change your number. In one of the new books we're putting out, there's only going to be 25 copies, as you know. And we put Kevin's real number in there. He said we could.
Yeah, awesome.
So watch out. I might put your real number in.
Well, I can say that since I stumbled across you, it's one of those other things. You look back and there's certain things that save your life. That's one of the things that saved me. I mean, it really has, just been able to be integrated.
Mutual.
And part of Channel the Sun, have you as my brother and work with the people we work with and get to do the things we do. I can't imagine being here without that. So it's pretty special.
Yeah. Shout out to Sydney. That time we did the live. That Instagram live is how we met you.
Oh, shoot. That's right. Yeah. Because
yeah.
I ran across YouTube. I ran across, what was the song?
I don't even know.
I've
looked everywhere.
I've looked everywhere. Still one of my favorite songs to this day in my whole world. And that,
maybe we'll put that as the outro of today's song.
Yeah, man, that's nice. It just, from depression to addiction to everything, it kind of deals with it, and it's a special thing. And I looked you guys up and found that, and we stumbled on, and I'm still stumbling down that road with you now.
Yeah. So let's see. I know you got some questions. You're going to flip it on me. We're going to have to insert your whisper jokes. You've been sending me audio messages of short whisper jokes. I actually saved 3 of them, and Kevin's going to insert them here somewhere.
Good, because after I sang, I couldn't even tell you what one was, so my memory.
What kind of pants does a psychic wear? A pair of normal pants. How do you tell the sex of an ant? Well, you drop it in water. If it sinks, it's a girl ant. If it floats, it's... What happens if someone slaps you at a high frequency? It hurts.
They're really good jokes. But yeah, fire away, bro.
Cool. I got a couple, just kind of some background questions, and then we got to get into the deep, thick of the thing.
Yeah.
Just for review, what brought around Channel the Sun, and how did you organize it, and how did it come to be?
I mean, ever since I was 13, I've been, feeling this call to rally people, and music being the central expression. And then quickly, whether it's, contacting a producer or an artist for the album cover, that just became this kind of style that I like to bring people together. Fast forward, the band Smokey Robotic, so many names that I've had, crews, ways of looking at it, and then landing back in LA from New York, being in the studio with Red, Oliver, Malcolm, different people, kind of having a new iteration of, again, the same thing since I'm 13, and writing a lyric in one of the Electric Bible songs from that album, Channel the Sun. Let it flow through my veins. And that coming from my mom always telling me to imagine the sun behind my back shining through my chest out into the audience. She would always tell me that before a show. And then Oliver Malcolm, who was working in the studio with us, wrote in Sharpie on his van sneaker, Channel the Sun. So for some reason that line really caught him, and him writing it on his sneaker obviously kind of reflected it back to me in a way of like, oh, there's something about that line. And then it was time to name, names are names. That's why I got to get them off me a lot of the times. But when it was time to kind of give name to whatever was happening, Channel the Sun is what I chose. And I remember Red was like, nah, dude, he didn't like it. And I don't even like names anymore either.
Sure.
As you know, I'm constantly trying to kind of shed identities. But yeah, that's kind of where it began. And then meeting you guys, Taylor, Kevin, the Channel the Sun magazine, all these iterations have just been the same spirit of trying to take this creativity that is sort of like liquid, it moves, it changes, it adapts, and trying to give it a home that won't kill it or restrict it, it's tricky.
I find that the thing I probably like most about Channel the Sun is that, and it's, many times growing up as a musician, artist, stuff, you have your crew, you get your group, you get your name, you do your thing, you got the band, and you're playing all the shows, and you really stick together on that loyalty thing. This thing, not saying it's unloyal, but this thing, I didn't need to go there, but this thing,
we're taking out the trash so it's perfect. Let's go.
It's almost the opposite of that. It's just a open-ended thing of collaboration, and it's an open-ended thing of not just music, but a video or a book or a documentary or a magazine, and that's something I couldn't have wrote down, hey, this is what I want and what I'm looking for. But when I stumbled across it, it's something I absolutely could be devoted to because, it's open-ended. And I don't know if this is a question or not, but that open-endedness, did you have a vision of that, or did it just kind of create itself? Or
no, I mean, it created itself. I guess it's innate in my nature to feel that that's how life is. It's open-ended. My creativity is seasonal. It always has been. I'll go through phases where I read 80 books in 4 or 5 months, getting up at dawn, pre-dawn, writing poetry for 2 months. You've seen my cycles, and I've noticed it throughout time. So then how you put it out, how what the collective is, whatever you want to call it, for me has to reflect that. I can't, even when we were the band Smoky Robotic, what genre are you? Well, I don't know. Depends on the day,
Right.
And so I feel, especially studying at Pacifica in the master's program, when you look back through time at the etymology of words, at the progression, evolution, arguably the de-evolution of concept of cosmology, it's pretty fascinating to see how it's not like who them or they did it to, I don't like the they, them, if that makes sense, like not paranoid conspiracy, but there has been kind of a marketing campaign throughout time which has detached us from our nature. And so the way that Channel the Sun creates, I would say, is much more natural than the time we live in now, which is so mechanical and factory. And, so it's like, cliche blessing and a curse. Obviously, it's hard to exist like this in this time as far as making a living off of the work. And it, like you said, it is making us more alive and it gives us a reason to live. So it's just about, being more and more true. In a way, I think what's kept us, and it's all meant to be the way it is, but I think my work has been shedding the small parts that are still trying to play the game. Because I've never played the game, but then there's always in the final hour a little part like, how do we play the game? And so now I'm trying my best to not try to play the game, if that also makes sense.
I think it's, it's an interesting concept. You want to create stuff, you can create it for yourself, but if you can share what you're creating with people and you're doing collabs and people are coming in, you want it to be seen by people, and you're hoping to make the world a little better place through it. And ideally, if a Sony or somebody picks that up and puts it out, if they get it, and you can make a living at it, and then it's like, okay, this is great. So you commercialize it. And this, I don't know how you say, hey, we're going to do this little documentary, and then we're going to do a big street painting of it, and then we're going to sell it as an NFT, and we're going to work with these 3 different people on this project, and then put an album out and have some videos with it, and then move on to something else, and it's completely different genre and stuff, and then we're going to put a book out about poetry related to none of the above. And all I can say is it's a different type of medium that is its own medium, and people, maybe it's not out there to be commercialized, but the art itself is unreal and special. So,
and the right people get it. You are a rare fellow to have been here this long, and like Kevin, obviously, and Lauren and Michael, and the people who really see and know and breathe and exist in this realm where it makes perfect sense. That's who we are, and the other stuff. it'll come as it comes.
Well, I know the stuff that I really enjoy. And then when we have people from all around the world reaching out, sending, maybe sending their art or, whether it be some sort of painting or a apparel or a mug or something or something online. And I know that what we do touches a ton of people around the world. So as
long as we can touch ourselves.
Right.
Exactly. I'm going to roll the dice for this other book. Speaking of all these weird books, this one is
which book is
one
this?
of the abstract drops, very limited edition drops. This is by Byzantine Jones, which is one of my aliases sometimes, I guess. And it's called Wet Cement Tombstones. And the alternate title cover is Somewhere Something is Beeping.
Oh, front and back. Okay, I like it.
And this comes with the Forgetting Zachary Murdoch album. So if you go to forgettingzacharymurdoch.com, you can learn more. But
roll them, and that's the one to get onto that.
3-3, baby. Trip 3 is.
Do you have that page?
Man, it's so funny. I think I've got. Anyway, it's called To-Do List.
To-Do list.
Don't start another project. Don't clean the house. Don't go to the gym. Don't write poems. Don't go to the store. Don't create to-do lists. Don't wait.
I like it.
Silly, but it's story of my life. Yeah.
So with Forgetting Zachary Murdoch, what brought on that project? Tell me a little bit about that, the website, and just explain that a little bit before I start asking the hard-hitting questions.
Like I mentioned, going to Pacifica, the depth psychology program has assisted me in cutting lingering umbilical cords that were stifling my flow and kind of remaining skin flaps of trying to cater to ghosts, I guess, instead of just really surrendering to who I am. Mm-hmm. And there's a book by the chair of my program called The Archetypal Artist, Reimagining Creativity and the Call to Create by Mary Antonia Wood, Dr. Mary. And that book just rattled me in the best way and just shook me up and, again, made me kind of look back through time at the lineage and the progression of the role of the artist, from shamanism to the oracles who would speak nonsense in order to make sense, how, cultures have changed and influenced what artists do and how they are received. And now we live in a time where the market is very much in bed with creativity. So a lot of it is, you're not just there's not a lot of space for artists to just do what they do. And so, that's where the Forgetting Zachary Murdoch project came from, was like, oh man, this is an opportunity, being 39, having made art since I was 13, to really let go. And a lot of things have fallen apart, as we know, in Channel the Sun's old structures for better, in my opinion. And so just locking in with Kevin, surrendering to who was here, what was here, rapping. Rapping is something I did since a child. So returning to that. And then just like odd poetry, inside references, not, really not trying to make sense, not trying to not make sense, but just as if I'm talking to myself, liberating my tongue in that way, because trying to communicate has also yielded confusion. I don't think there's anything to really understand per se. So I started to really feel into that, like if you went to a different country and you were in the presence of a piece of art that you didn't understand because you didn't speak the language or have cultural reference, it would create an experience that would be really powerful in a different way, because you would be kind of suspended in awe of not knowing, and your brain would not be able to categorize it in the same way. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to say, oh, this means this. Okay, done. Box ticked. Now I have it in a box in my brain. This defies, it almost has a force field around it to retain its mystery, which I think is really an interesting way of creating art, because it allows every individual to have their own experience with it.
Yeah, I think the use of words is really overrated. I have a really close friend that we don't really speak the same language, and she said, well, can we be friends if, I'm not going to be able to. I said, I'd have nothing good to say. Everything I would do would not be verbal anyways, so let's experience life together, and it's been fun.
You remember that there's a joke about a kid who doesn't speak, and he's 5, and his parents have tried to figure out what's, why their son doesn't talk, taking him to every doctor specialist. One night, his mom is serving dinner and she puts Brussels sprouts on his plate, and he says, "Mother, did you know I absolutely detest Brussels sprouts?" And they start crying and they're like, "Oh my God, da da da. Why haven't you spoken? Why are you speaking? Why haven't you spoken?" And he says, "Up till now, everything was fine."
Right. Yeah, I don't blame it. And look, we've been talking here for what? Been speaking for about 25, 30 minutes.
And I'm already tired.
And Juju, we put her right to sleep.
Put him right to sleep. Yeah. All my boys get confused as girls because they're so pretty. But yeah, I've been feeling that recently, man. It's, the futility of words, even answering these questions. It's like, I'm sort of trying to answer them, but I don't.
Oh, we're going to get into questions. So tell me so forgetting Zachary Murdoch, what do we have on that side? I think it's really interesting.
I mean, again, when you surrender into what I'm describing, it's crazy what emerges naturally, like domino effects. To me, it's like you're allowing, for example, the cover is actually an image from the I've Looked Everywhere music video shoot. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
My head in an aluminum foil with this woman's hands, like kind of holding my head.
Absolutely.
My friend Neto today animated something with that, redrew the piece, and he texted me and he said, what do the woman's hands represent? I hadn't thought of it, specifically. It just was part of the image and it looks dope. But if I had to think about it, I said it's kind of like she's the muse or the spirit, the ambiguous entity who is using me, us, whoever, but me in this scenario is the aluminum-headed tinfoil, the tinfoil hat idea.
Yep.
As her vessel. And the more we allow that is my point. The more, in my experience, that we allow things to move through us. And part of that understanding of what is mine as me, as an antenna, what's for me, as opposed to what's for you to receive, what's for Kendrick to receive, what's for Haruki to receive, has to do with what tickles your fancy, if you will, like a deep tickle. What turns me on, what makes me smile, what really makes me say, "Oh, that's fucking sick," or like wordplay. A man finds himself lost, pause for laughter. That's something that really, so I start following those. 4 years ago or so, when I started to write a book of poetry, as you know, I was thinking of like a cool formula for it. I didn't want to do tarot. I didn't want to do 365 days. I thought of playing CeeLo in New York as a kid, the dice game. And then I was like, I wonder if there's like some pattern for that. Sure enough, I figured out that there's 216 potential outcomes of sequence of 3 dice. So then I wrote 216 poems. That's been a really huge exercise in holding a project, because now it is being published by Paper Street in LA. Be out soon.
Love it.
In the meantime, that dice formula created the God Help Me I'm Awake book, which I'm holding here. The little pocket-sized book. You can go to GodHelpMeI'mAwake.com to procure your copy.
There's no way you're not looking if you're listening to this podcast. Looking for something, for some song, some spark. By chance, you found us. So why not allow chance to guide and illuminate your path? Roll the dice that come along with your copy of God Help Me I'm Awake, Volume 1, Wisdom Quotes for Daily Awakening. To laugh and be inspired, go to GodHelpMeI'mAwake.com. Again, that is GodHelpMeI'mAwake.com, GodHelpMeI'mAwake.com.
And so this dice thing, and then with Forgetting Zachary Murdoch, I was thinking about dice and art and chance and whimsy, even though I don't like the word whimsy anymore. It kind of annoys me. But and I thought, okay, 2 dice. What's the outcome of 2 dice? 36. So I wrote 36 poems, which is the book I just rolled for.
Okay.
The album is only 5 songs. It comes with 2 books, though. The other book has this kind of abstract play and 36 very bizarre quotes from mostly depth psychological cats out of context, though. So they're kind of, they amuse me a lot. They're very funny. And Matthew Watkins, who's an architect of virtual universes, and what's a seamstress called for men? A seamster. He likes to sew. He animates. He's just one of the most creative spirits I've ever had the honor of working with.
Absolutely amazing.
He's amazing. And him and Michael, certain people we work with who play with modern technology in a way that's very analog and soulful and still retains that feeling of like Justice Jocelyn's tape studio, even though it might be employing AI or something. So anyway, I hit him up. He's been busy. We haven't worked together in years, and for some reason it aligned. So he designed this website for Getting Zachary Murdoch, and on it you can roll the dice. You can actually shake your phone, and some quotes pop up. And it has the album through his platform Tape Trade, which is a hybrid kind of alternate version for SoundCloud and Dropbox, made for artists, musicians, sharing files. If you don't want to support AI warfare on the back end of certain streaming platforms, etc. So anyway, that's how that happened. And now we're working on Breakfast at Kev's, which is a 36-track project where when you roll the dice virtually, the music will actually be triggered. So it's like a choose your own album. So imagine eventually if we had Bluetooth dice, but also forget even making it all advanced. I'm going to start by selling 50 copies of the album. You just get 2 real dice, physical dice. You roll them based off what you roll, color coordinated, so you know which one is 1 and which one is 2. But say, for example, you roll 2-5. 2-5 will be, what would that be? That would be, I think, track 11, because 1 through 6. Anyway, I sound like an autistic bipolar guy, which I am, happily married to myself. But you get the point. So then automatically it would trigger track 11, and then we're going to shoot and animate a whole vault of footage, and then that will pair automatically and randomly with said track, creating a unique visual audio experience. So that, plus a video game we're designing, 8-bit kind of Pac-Man involving vacuums and pink ski masks and labyrinths of intestines. That train of thought is by me letting go of trying to get signed, of trying to make X producer happy, of trying to fit into some brand. I'm like, fuck it. I'm crazy old man now. I'm a failure in the way that my ego wanted me to be. Now I can really be successful in aligning with what I am here to be for real, for real. And so there's concepts that, the final project after this, I'm not even going to say it. I'm just so excited about it. After Breakfast
keep that under wraps.
Yeah.
Keep that under wraps. So
I'll just say one last thing.
Okay.
I do have a floppy disk that has The Secret of Life on it, but there's no way to use it. So it's on there and it's trapped.
I got a computer still. I got my first a Kai 1000. I can sample that meaning of life.
Okay.
As long as it's not over 10 seconds.
Okay.
So forgetting Zachary Murdoch,
seconds,
right?
Actually.
Yeah. Forgetting ZacharyMurdoch.com. Some great stuff on there. The book, the music, everything. Check it out. I got a couple more questions before I get the hard hitting questions.
Okay.
Little Mother, where did that come about from? Who's involved? Tell me about that real fast, because that's really special to my heart.
Yeah, me too. Little Mother's our new band. When things collapsed finally, there's been so many layers of, destruction, if you will, or whether it's breaking my ankle, Taylor dying, COVID, obviously, and then just relationships that were we're trying to make things work, but there's just forces. It's not personal. It's just like, that doesn't work. It doesn't fit, and how long are we going to pretend like it does? And then in doing that, we're blocking what could be, blah, blah, blah. So finally, letting go. And then that put Kevin, you and I in this new situation where we didn't have some of the original players that we were almost like looking up to, like, oh, they're like so good at certain things and we need them. And that made us become more empowered. And then I remember just talking to Kevin. Yeah, there's a Japanese game show called Old Enough where the kids run errands, and one of them, this little sister and her little brother are going, and the mom tells the brother that on the errand he should view his big sister as his little mother. And then at some point in the errand, it's really cute little game show. He's like, "I love you, sister." And she looks down at him. She says, "I think you mean mother." And in my head, I changed it to, "I think you mean little mother." And little mother's just funny as fuck to me. Like that idea, like, you little mother. Or as a father who is mostly the kind of the housewife, and I say that as a joke, respectfully. Molly doesn't love when I say that, but I like being the little mother. You know, I am like the mother.
Kind of the carekeeper.
Yeah, a grocery shopper, laundry doer, etc. So anyway, that's how that started. Kev is the OG producer of that. Hit up Jarrell, Camille. That's how it started. Obviously, you're the OG with us, creating that, drummer, creative director with us. And then
DJ Mikey, anything I do, by the way, shout out to DJ Mike. Mike Angelo is a drummer who loves hip hop and funk and rock and everything. There's nothing better than playing with a live DJ, and Mike's held it down with me for
one of a kind
for many years. So, go ahead.
Yeah, and then Chaotic Steel and
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. So it just became another little collective, and then the Red Devil Duck, Quack. I mean, it speaks for itself. Little Mother is just like, you know,
God's got to be crazy.
The gods must be crazy. The dogs must be crazy. Dogs must be on leashes if they want to escape. So a bunch of albums coming with that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I need like top 3 to 5 rappers, top 3 to 5 poets, top 3 to 5 authors. Just give me a couple.
Yeah. MF Doom, Kendrick Lamar, Andre 3000, Ghostface.
That works next.
Yeah,
Poet.
Poets, Ginsberg, Italo Calvino, more of an author. Haruki Murakami, more of an author. I don't know. I'm not really like a poetry guy, funny enough, even though I'm a poet.
Wow.
I'm like,
I learn something every day.
I mean, yeah, Rumi.
Rumi.
Put Rumi up
Sure.
top.
Oh, yeah.
Rumi.
Yep.
But I mean, I am a poetry guy for sure. I mean, I'm just Hafez, Rumi. I could just look at the book of quotes that I've assembled with.
Yeah, that would answer that question right there.
Herman Hesse, Robert Bly, Kierkegaard, Alan Watts, Joseph Campbell, Lao Tzu, my dad,
heavy hitters,
Marion Woodman, Benjamin Hoff, you know, stuff
all right,
like
authors.
That. Kabir.
If we ever
Haruki Murakami, Herman Hesse, Kurt Vonnegut, Tom Robbins, never to be confused with Tony Robbins, god damn it. Yeah, let's let the dice tell us what my favorite so-and-so is. 161. Better choose your questions wisely now because I'm losing talk steam.
Okay, nope, I got
Hafez, how seek the way which leadeth to our wishes? By renouncing our wishes. The crown of excellence is renunciation.
Okay, you ready for it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Am I gay? Sometimes.
Oh, hold it. I'm the one asking the questions. Am I gay?
Creatively, I am gay. Bodily, I am straight.
I don't even care. Your project, it's called Forgetting Zachary Murdoch. Is that because you're trying to reinvent yourself or because people kept confusing you with a plumber named Zach?
It's because people, including you, kept misspelling my name even after years.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Z-A-K and shit. I don't know if you do that, but
okay.
No. It's obviously Forgetting Sarah Marshall is the film that, and I've been enjoying combining like strange references, obscure, depthy, like trippy things with, you know, pop culture stuff that, you know, Dumb and Dumber, Multiplicity, certain films. So yeah, that's where that came from. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, the great surfing scene. Don't do anything. You're doing too much, or you're not. You got to do something. You're doing too much.
No.
Don't do anything.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
No, that's too much.
Yeah, exactly. So that, and then just, yeah, it is. It's forgetting myself to be who I am. That's the great wisdom, like forgetting the old me so I can become who I am every day, brand new, someone else. And that's where Byzantine Jones came in, and old so-and-so is one of my nicknames, outpatient, things like that.
Love it.
I got it. Hold on.
Okay.
Don't rush me.
Got so many questions.
I know. We'll speed through them. I might say next. I got to hit you with a next. That'd be funny. I've never done that. I'm looking for this poem. You don't see it, you feel it. That's something Rock said to me, and I was like, that's a poem. Title. I love that. You don't see it, you feel it. That's what fuck we're doing. The word Byzantine pops into my mind. Shall I interpret? Excuse me. The word Byzantine pops into my mind. Shall I internet search or heed the call of Joyce? Suspend the word Byzantine in a frame with no context, no definition. Free of definition, allowed to be a sound. Byzantine, fun to say. If an alien popped down and asked me my name, I'd say Byzantine Jones and invite him for a cup. But take your shoes off, I'd say. Don't want any of that moon muck on my carpets now, do I?
Moon muck, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, your project is called Forgetting Zachary Murdoch. Was that a marketing decision, or are you just preparing people for the inevitable? Next. You don't need to answer
Next.
You've combined music, poetry, philosophy, and storytelling. Was the goal to reach multiple audiences or to confuse them all equally? Next.
Ask Donna Shella.
Ask Donna Shella. When people finish experiencing your project, what do you hope they feel? Enlightenment or mild concern?
More just falling in love with your own, your own weird self. That's the only thing I could ever hope, that it would be contagious to do you. You know what I mean? I think that's what great art does. You just witness somebody being so them that it's like, damn, man, that's so liberating that I can be me,
Okay. Your work explores identity and self-discovery. Is that because you're searching for yourself or because nobody else could find you either?
I mean, same answer in the sense of just, befriending all the parts that have been cast into the shadows, and, reclaiming yourself, whether you're on the spectrum like I am, whatever you may be, you're a mystery. And so reclaiming, seducing yourself, wooing yourself, growling, howling, finding, I don't know. It's just like, I'm not looking for, I guess, I am looking for, as Yeats said, I'm looking for the face I had before the world was made. And someone else on the podcast recently, I think it was Xenia, was saying, the way some of us figure out who we were before we took the amnesia pill to reincarnate, or however you want to look at it, we create in order to see and figure out who we are. So I'm creating kind of blindly and say, oh, that's kind of me. I think that's me. One time I was on a little mushrooms, which I don't do drugs, as you know, because I am drugs.
Right.
But I was on, this is many, many years ago, and I remember we were shooting a music video in Joshua Tree, very stereotypical, fucking mushrooms in Joshua Tree.
It works.
Yeah, whatever. And we had the song on, it was called Hypersensitive, and I felt this being come down, and it felt like a higher me, like a stereotype, another stereotype of like the higher me. And it went in my body, and I felt this power, and it started listening to the song through me. And certain lyrics, it would perk up and say, oh, that's me. Oh, yeah, I see, that's me.
Interesting.
It was like recognizing itself through my certain art that was the most authentic. So I think that's what I'm doing and remembering, is creating and then becoming familiar with my essence.
I love it. I like it. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. At least I'll take it.
I'll probably forget it, but I'll take it for now.
If someone says they don't get your work, do you explain it, or do you just nod and quietly judge them? Next question.
No. Kevin
Okay.
quoted Haruki, I believe, saying, if you don't understand it without an explanation, you won't understand it with one.
Correct. That's so true. Isn't that
I mean,
so
I've
true?
tried till I'm red in the face to explain, even every day, little moments. I mean, at the gym, this fucking woman, God bless her, is on the phone, which is fine. I mean, it's annoying, right? But people, whatever, I get it. And she's talking loudly on the elliptical next to me. You called me. She was on for like 20 minutes. You called me. And I don't usually pick up, but I was like, whatever. I mean, I'll pick up for you. I just mean, I try not to be rude. And I talked to you for 20 seconds, and she turned and gave me the nastiest look. And after that, I was thinking, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Like, you just shit in my aura. And now I'm like angry. And I said, what? Like, but she didn't hear me. And I was then conflicted for 5 minutes after of like how to deal with this anger and like, what the fuck is, and I ended up not, and I was trying to imagine, do I like mentally envision eating the thing and like how do I get rid of it? Because it's in my body now. And I say that to say, with your question, there's so many nuanced interactions that I feel day to day, not even just with my art, that it takes a lot of work for me to not explain or to not like have to, and I'm getting better at it. Honestly, I'm so exhausted and my face does turn bright red and I am like very sensitive. So I'm getting more blunt, whereas I used to over-explain everything because I wanted to make sure people understand that I'm a good guy and I'm coming from this place and there's a reason why my art actually sounds like this. And then I'm like, you know what? It is what it is, man.
I think you gotta personally, when someone's panties are in a bunch, you just have to remember that they're not your panties.
I know, but I feel like all panties are mine.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
they're pretty intrusive sometimes. Okay, you created something that's an album, a book, and a dice game.
Yeah.
Was the original idea art, or did you just lose the instructions halfway through?
I mean, back to the beginning, just feeling of like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay, next. I got these are
No,
run
it's
through
great,
some.
it's great.
Some people meditate to discover themselves. You created a dice-based storytelling system. Are you saying enlightenment is basically gambling?
Basically, yes, I am. Let's roll the dice on that.
Okay,
I'm
let's do
saying light, God, if you will, whatever. Well, first of all, forget names again, but that life is playful and life is an ongoing exploration and life is collaborative and life is, happening. It's being created. So by having the wet cement tombstones or the dice, 3, 4, 2, it's just like a game, man. It is a game to me, but not a silly, game, an important game, very intense game. John Lennon said, the more real you get, the more unreal the world gets.
Facts.
So that's an example of, what that book is. And I wanted to combine, I feel like a lot of things in the name of genres and marketing and capitalism, it's created these crews, right? So you're like spiritual, so you wear white things and you go to Joshua Tree. You're a gangster, so you do blah, blah, blah. You're a politician, you're a thing, and all these identities. Meanwhile, beneath your face, everyone's face, they're seething all sorts of personalities, shimmering monsters. That's what mythology, beings, angels, all this stuff whispering. And your persona, your mask that you're presenting, for the most part, is a stifling situation of just one, this is who I am, identity. So I lost the point, but you get the point. It's just liquid.
This is what I have the fear of sometimes. If someone rolls the dice and gets the most boring combination possible, do they get a re-roll, or is that just their destiny?
What's a boring combination?
I don't know. That's just a question.
416. Let's see. I mean, you can re-roll. We got Taylor. That's not boring.
Yeah, right?
I once loved being a cowboy, then God drew faster and I put down my guns.
It's beautiful. Amnesia poetry forever.
Yeah. No, I mean, re-roll, roll again, eat the dice.
When someone rolls the dice and lands on a weird combination, do they discover something profound or just realize they should have bought the normal album?
Let's see.
Okay, I'm trying.
He's trying. He's practicing. This is, as I leave podcasting, we're trying to jump Brad into the role, trying to get his career off the ground.
Geez.
We'll give him some help. 4-3. Let's see.
4-3.
So this is the other book. It's all so many. This is called Trickster's Dilemma. My belly betrays me. My loins betray me. Or do I betray them by judging their urges?
Urges. Excellent. Well, I can say, kind of wrapping this up, again, blessed to be part of this, you know, and my journey of where I'm at, being able to develop and start my company, Extremely Loud Productions, which
Shout out.
I could have never done that without being part of Channel of the Sun, because now, you know, being able to help put out Channel of the Sun records, being able to production in that and the books and my coaching, and working with kids in basketball and having a nonprofit and doing custom apparel, custom branding merchandise. It's pretty unique to be able to have. When I was at the bank and opening up my company and getting my LLC and all that going, the resale number, they said, what do you do? And I said, well, I produce. They said, well, you produce what? And I said, well, basketball, and produce music, produce books, produce, you know, video work. I produce. And they're like, that's the most vague thing I've ever heard. And I thought, yeah, that's Channel of the Sun, man. The details are caught in the vagueness.
Exactly. I love that. Yeah. I mean, I think the more you try to define, the more you kill it, the more you scare away the magic. So that's it, man.
Pinkhurst Podcast, man. It started off with a big cake,
man. Yeah.
Had our little car.
Yeah.
And some pretty special people, man. We've done some great things.
I'm so grateful to everyone who's been on the show, and so much more to come.
There's going to be a vault of these gems forevermore that's just going to be special.
And just, you know, I'm excited. I think AJ's pulling up. We're about to go film me chasing you around playing tag, and here we go. Juju will probably bark at AJ.
Juju's excited.
We love you guys. Love you, Kevin. Thank you, Brad.
Much.
Love you so much, man. Final lap. Santa, what do you want?
Pinkhurst out.
Pinkhurst out.
Did you hear the news last night? There was a suicide in paradise, and he's spinning 'cause he lost his way. I wish I could relieve their pain. Heaven knows you are close, though you feel so far away. So take my hand as you fall, 'cause I'm falling too. Life breaks our hearts, so the light shines through. I've looked everywhere, and I can't find my home. I've looked everywhere. And my heart, and my heart, and my heart, and my heart, and my heart found my home, and my heart found my home, and my heart is the only unturned stone. So you painted all your sweet dreams blue, saying the gods played a trick on you, and your gift is a curse on fire. Didn't get what you want, and your wants left you paralyzed. So take my hand as you fall, 'cause I'm falling too. Life breaks our heart, so the light shines through. I've looked everywhere and I can't find my home. I've looked everywhere. I've looked everywhere, everywhere. I've looked everywhere and I can't find my home. And my heart, and my heart, and my heart find my home, and my heart find my home, and my heart.
Zach, make sure you run the dryer.